As a communication and social dynamics coach, I've come across the best book on building confidence. That is The Six Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden. It literally tells you step by step how to feel more confident. In this video, I'm going to summarize each pillar for you so you can go and apply it practically in your life and start to feel more confident immediately. It's Shako from Mind's Eye Status, by the way. Welcome to the video. So the first pillar is the practice of living consciously. This means being present and aware of your own life, your thoughts, your actions, and your habits. Personally, I can tell you, I used to have social anxiety. I constantly used to overthink. And guys, when I started to practice self-awareness, especially through mindfulness and meditation, I became more conscious, and that allowed me to realize what I had control over and what I didn't. So start to become more conscious of how you think, what emotions come up throughout the day, and what actions you take. The second pillar is the practice of self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is the practice of recognizing and acknowledging both your strengths and your weaknesses. It means acknowledging it without judgment. That is key. So for example, through my own journey of self-acceptance, I remember when I first got into a relationship, a lot of fear of not feeling good enough would arise. And the way that I would practice it was by becoming aware of the fact that I felt like I wasn't good enough. I was miserable, and I didn't know why. It wasn't the other person, it was simply my own triggers coming up. So I became aware of it. And instead of judging myself for it, I simply accepted it and acknowledged it. Now, something that Nathaniel Branden points out, which I really appreciate, is the fact that you don't have to like what you're accepting. So just because I was accepting the fact that I didn't feel good enough, that doesn't mean I liked the fact that I wasn't good enough or that I felt that way. However, it took me a step closer towards transcending that feeling and actually overcoming it. So you don't have to like what you're accepting. You simply acknowledge it. Because when we acknowledge it, it loses its emotional grip on us. Start practicing self-acceptance today by writing down 3 things that you appreciate about yourself. Now write 3 things that you could work on and improve. Make sure when you write that list, you're not judging yourself. It's simply awareness. That's what acceptance is. Next, we have the practice of self-responsibility. This is probably the pillar which is lacking most in today's society because it seems like everybody wants to attach themselves to a victim mentality. Now let me ask you, how much power truly is in a victim identity? How much does that serve you? This pillar emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for your actions, your choices, and your emotions. Just because your feelings are hurt does not mean that's somebody else's responsibility. Take full responsibility and you'll be a step closer towards a high degree of self-esteem. It's understanding that you have the power to make choices in your life, and whenever you blame external circumstances, what you're doing is counterproductive and it is weak. By the way, if you find this kind of video helpful, give it a thumbs up, a like, it helps a lot. Hit subscribe as well because I post videos about self-esteem and communication skills on a weekly basis. Now the 4th pillar is the pillar of self-assertiveness. Now this pillar is for you if you find it a little bit difficult to stand up for yourself and get respect from other people. Self-assertiveness is expressing your thoughts, needs, and values in a respectful way. So for example, this involves saying no to people. If you find it difficult to say no, then the pillar of self-assertiveness is very crucial for you because if you don't know how to stand up for yourself and say no, you will fall for anything. People will use you as a doormat. So you need to get comfortable in your body going through that initial spike of anxiety in the social interaction when you say no to people. The key to it is being polite. It's about giving yourself the respect that you deserve. By the way, here's a hint. Self-assertiveness is not always about what you do. It's also about what you don't do. Sometimes self-assertiveness is manifested through volunteering an idea or paying a compliment. Sometimes through a polite silence that signals non-agreement. Sometimes by refusing to smile at a tasteless joke. So as you can see, it's not always about what you do, it's about what you don't do as well. Next, we have the practice of living purposefully. Are you living on autopilot and just floating through the wind? Or do you actually decide and plan what you're going to do with your life? Living purposefully means aligning your actions with intentional thoughts and goals. This is what makes your life fulfilling because it gives you a sense of purpose. A practical way that you can do this is by setting specific goals. So for example, instead of saying, I'm going to start running next week, tell yourself that you're going to run for 30 minutes per day or every second day. Whatever it is, as long as you're specific. Or rather than saying, I'm going to start journaling, say to yourself and write down, because writing down makes it a real goal, it puts it out into the universe. Write down, I am going to journal every day at least 1 page before breakfast. It's specific, that is purposeful. And last but not least, we have the act of personal integrity. This means aligning your actions and behaviors with your values and principles. It means acting in accordance with your beliefs, being true to yourself, even in the face of adversity, especially in the face of adversity. Mr. Brandon says that when we behave in ways that conflict with our judgment of what is appropriate, we lose face in our own eyes, meaning we lose respect for ourselves. And when you don't respect yourself, how confident can you truly be? There you go, ladies and gentlemen. If this video resonated with you, I would highly suggest you go get yourself a copy. Like and comment which pillar resonated with you most. Would love to see your comments. Again, if this resonated with you, give us a subscribe or follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.